April 18 is a terrible day in California history. On April 18, 1906, an earthquake rocked San Francisco, killing 3,000 residents and leaving more than half of the survivors homeless. And on April 18, 1947, Herbert Mullin was born. A resident of Santa Cruz, Mullin would become obsessed with his birth date, convinced by a schizophrenic delusion that another natural disaster would happen unless he killed people to prevent it. Between 1972 and 1973, he made 13 human sacrifices to his cause before he was apprehended by police on February 13, 1973. Some serial killers are obviously unwell from early childhood. They torture animals like Jeffrey Dahmer did or engage in other sadistic behavior. But Mullin grew up well-adjusted. He was popular in high school and voted most likely to succeed. He was normal-looking and his underlying disturbance was masked. Louis Schlesinger, a psychology professor at John Jay College of Criminal Justice, tells AE True Crime. But Schlesinger adds that Mullin's underlying disorder, paranoid schizophrenia, manifested itself in his early 20s. Mullin didn't show any overt signs of psychosis early on, but when it hit him in full force. After checking himself into California's Mendocino State Hospital at the age of 22, Mullin would spend the next several years entering and leaving mental institutions before finally turning to bloodshed in 1972. At the age of 25, Mullin, who was broke, moved from San Francisco back to his childhood home of Santa Cruz, where he lived with his parents. There, he began to hear voices telling him he had to kill people to prevent an earthquake from destroying California. On October 13, 1972, he claimed his first victim, Lawrence White, a 55-year-old man whom he clubbed to death with a baseball bat. 11 days later, he stabbed to death 24-year-old college student Mary Guilfoyle, whom he picked up when she was hitchhiking. He disemboweled her, hoping to find proof that her blood was polluted. On November 2nd, Mullin, a lifelong Catholic, went to confess his sins at St. Mary's Church in Los Gatos, but then stabbed and stomped to death the priest he was confessing to, Father Henri Tomé, whose body he left in the church confessional. One of the most noteworthy aspects of Mullin's killings was the lack of pattern. He killed with knife, bat, and gun. He killed a young married couple, an entire family, a retired boxer, and the aforementioned three. And his killings would come in bunches. 3 victims in less than a month, then nothing for nearly 3 months, then 5 victims in a single day. That's also not entirely unique within the world of serial murder, Schlesinger says, referring to this pattern of killing as rapid sequence clusters. On February 13, 1973, Mullin claimed his last victim, 72-year-old Fred Perez, whom he shot with a rifle in broad daylight as Perez tended to his